Since 2008, with your support, the Women's Earth Alliance Advocacy Network has linked grassroots Indigenous women with pro bono lawyers from across the United States together for over 60 collaborations on campaigns to protect sacred places. This year, I am so proud and excited to introduce Kahea Pacheco, who has stepped forward to join us as the new Women's Earth Alliance Advocacy Network Coordinator. Kahea, who is a graduate of the University of San Francisco Law School, has been an indispensable WEA team member since 2011. And we are so thrilled that she's bringing to bear her brilliance and her dedication to this important work. So Kahea will tell you more about what's happening in the network today.
Thank you, Caitlin, for that introduction. As Caitlin just said, my name is Kahea Pacheco, and I'm the Advocacy Network Coordinator for WEA's North America program. You know, there's such an access gap that exists between Indigenous women who are doing the work on the ground and the legal resources they need to make their work that much more effective. And that's really what the Advocacy Network does. It provides a resource that can bridge that gap by linking grassroots leaders with experienced attorneys committed to supporting these efforts on a pro bono basis. Already this year, some of the advocacy needs that have been brought to our attention include a campaign by a tribal community who are hoping to hold corporations accountable for the harm they're creating in this community. I spoke to one of the tribal elders, and she explained to me that her community is currently surrounded by manufacturing plants, refineries, leach ponds, and landfills. The soil is so toxic that the wells and springs have been deemed unusable, and organic crops can't be raised within an 8-mile radius of their city. The elder has estimated that because of the high incidence of autoimmune disease and cancer, she goes to about a funeral a week. Additionally, WEA has just started talking with our Indigenous partners and learning about the alarming intersection of hydraulic fracturing, what we know as fracking, and violence against women. So many of these oil boom towns are located on or near reservations, and they're necessitating this influx of people to work in the oil fields, and they're creating man camps, and a lot of these communities are seeing a rise, sometimes up to 300% in violent crimes against women. So this kind of work is so crucial, and it's our hope that our advocacy network can continue to serve as a resource for these Indigenous women working at the front lines of campaigns like these. So thank you for your support.
Last year, the Global Women's Water Initiative launched a new program called the Women-Led Water, Sanitation, and Hygiene Service Center Program, or what we call WASH Service Center. This program trains women to be WASH technicians, WASH educators, and WASH entrepreneurs to ensure that this work is sustainable. As WASH technicians, the women actually can build multiple technologies, like rainwater harvesting systems with tanks that you saw in that video. They learn how to build composting toilets and pit latrines to ensure that people have places to go to the bathroom so it doesn't contaminate the water. In January, they're going to be learning how to build water filters to clean their water, everything made out of local materials. Yes. As educators, as WASH educators, they're offering hygiene workshops and education around the community to ensure that water-related disease is reduced and they can increase a community health. And lastly, as entrepreneurs, we're making sure that they have some ways, a diverse way of generating income. First, they can sell their products. They learned how to make soap, shampoo, reusable sanitary pads, things like that. They could sell and earn additional income for themselves. But what's exciting is they've also been hired to do the work that men used to do. building tanks. You saw those women making bricks and laying and making those big tanks. These are women making these tanks. And these are girls, and they're building them at schools, and these are girls seeing women building these tanks and changing the way they see their mothers, their aunts, and all their elders in their community. So it's very exciting. So what has this manifested into? This is manifested into over 20,000 people, just in this program alone, have increased access to water and sanitation. Exciting. Over 2/3 of our women have already increased their income either by getting raises, getting promotions, or getting hired to do work they'd never done before. Yeah. And lastly, they're influencing local policies. We have a woman who actually she just was elected to be the board chair of a 7-member board. She was one of 2 women, and she's the board chair and now managing hundreds of thousands of dollars of water programs in her community after never having done any water projects before our program. So it's very exciting. So we thank you so much for your support. Truly, this has been a ripple, and it's truly making a wave.
My name is Rucha Chitnis, and I direct Women's Earth Alliance's grant-making program. So around the world, women grow nearly 50% of the world's food, yet their work remains largely invisible. At Women's Earth Alliance, we believe that it is crucial to value women's work, whether it is growing food, saving seeds, stewarding natural resources, or managing community forests. It's absolutely essential to make this work visible and bring it to the forefront. This year, we are so thrilled to give 10 grants to women-led groups and grassroots networks in Nepal and India that are fighting mining and other land-grabbing projects, that are raising awareness on climate change, that are protecting community rights to community forests, and most importantly, linking women's struggles to broader struggles with other networks and other everyday citizens. This year, I was so privileged to visit one of our partners in the Indian tribal state of Jharkhand. Jharkhand means the land of forests. To meet our partner called Chota Nagpur Adivasi Seva Samiti. This group works with communities that have been displaced by coal mining, and they work to advocate for their rights and to protect their resources. So during a very moving visit to one of the health centers, I met a young woman who works as a health worker educating pregnant mothers and new mothers on infant and maternal health. Nearly all the mothers that I met there generate their livelihood from working in the mines. And some of the mothers continue to working in the mines well into their first trimester. And they're exposed to incredible toxicity. This young health worker shared that her village was the next to be displaced from another mining project. And besides educating mothers on their wellness and health being, she is also busy organizing a community to demand for a just rehabilitation and dignified livelihoods for their communities. She said that women were also reclaiming and requesting the government to restore an older mine so that the communities could go back to their ancestral homelands, where even to this day, their sacred grove stands. So here's a woman, she's working at multiple levels of struggles. She's working to educate mothers on infant health, and she's working with her communities to fight for justice. Thank you for being with us in this journey as we continue to support bold and fierce women's group in South Asia, and we're excited to increase our grant making in 2014. Thank you.